First, loosen the front and rear adjustment seat. After loosening, pull the adjustment seat towards you, then tighten the screw. Next, start the power supply, rotate the saw blade, rotate the handle, and tighten the saw blade. At this time, observe whether the saw blade is falling off. The gap is too large and the saw blade is falling off. Loosen the 6 screws, rotate the top screw clockwise, and adjust the saw blade too. The top of the saw blade is about 1 minute away from the saw wheel, and half of the saw teeth are out of the saw wheel. Adjust the saw blade to the correct position. To adjust the saw blade guide wheel, first tighten the central axis of the front and rear adjustment seat. Then adjust the eccentric shaft. The distance between the eccentric shaft and the saw blade is about the distance of a piece of paper. Adjust the distance between the eccentric bearing of the front and rear adjustment seat and the saw blade to the correct position. Next, start the power supply and observe whether the vertical bearing rotates with the saw blade. If it does not rotate, you need to use a copper rod to knock it and adjust it to the vertical bearing on the front and rear adjustment seat to rotate with the saw blade. To adjust the verticality of the saw blade, first hold a square against the saw blade and observe whether the saw blade is vertical to the square. If it is not vertical, use a wrench to move the adjustment seat and adjust the front and rear adjustment seats to make the saw blade vertical. Start the power and check whether the saw blade is in the correct position on the front and rear wheels. Turn off the power, tighten the screws on the front and rear adjustment seats, check the verticality of the saw blade, and the adjustment is complete.